and say hello to the people, Phil.
Hello.
Phil, we are in...
What do we do?
We are in our new segment that we are going to call After the Hype.
After the Hype.
This is a segment that we're doing, and it's sort of like a review piece tacked on to the end of the Two Pennies Gamescast, youtube.com/2pennygamescast, and other podcast services of your choice.
Am I an honorary member now?
Sure, yeah. I mean, you're in the description. So the whole point of this is going to be attached to the full podcast, but also I'm going to break it out and have it be its own thing, so you can catch the full podcast.
Yeah.
youtube.com/2pennygamescast, as I just said. But this is a review segment that's going to take place after every hype playthrough, every hype series that we do over at twitch.tv/2pennygames. That we do every Tuesday from about 1 p.m. to
around 9-ish.
9-ish. You know, it's about an 8-hour stream that we do.
Sometimes we push to 10.
Sometimes we push to 10.
We don't always like to.
So basically the whole idea of hype, have you ever played, is that you and I grew up playing different video games.
Very different gaming careers.
Yeah. So as we've talked and evolved our friendship, we've talked to each other about different games and been like, wait, you've never played fucking like Metal Gear Solid? How is that possible? And
I played Metal Gear Solid, Tavin.
You have now on our first hype series.
Tavin, have you played Kingdom Hearts?
I have not played Kingdom Hearts, Phil. Not until recently, where we just finished
this past month.
Finished my first playthrough of Kingdom Hearts. It took us a fucking month to do. So we are here to kind of do a little review after the hype review, if you will.
For context, it took us one session of Metal Gear Solid. It took us one sit-down stream.
Yeah, it took us about
9 hours.
Took us... I think the final Metal Gear Solid thing is... Oh, no, you're right. It's like 9 hours and something.
It's about 9 hours. This one...
9:45.
I think our final in-game time at Kingdom Hearts was like...
we hit 26?
26
at least.
26?
I don't remember exactly. I wasn't paying that close attention.
Well, I mean, that kind of makes sense mathematically because that would have been 3 weeks, if 9 hours each.
Yep. So we had to take 4 weeks because we live in Texas, and one of those weeks was interrupted by a winter storm.
Winter storm.
So we lost power.
Didn't it have a name?
And all that.
It had a name.
It has a name. I don't know what it is. It's still traumatic.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Anyway, so I have never played Kingdom Hearts before. You had me sit down and play the first game, specifically 1.5 Final Mix.
Man, if only that game could start at Kingdom Hearts 2, or at least the way that Kingdom Hearts 2 plays.
Now, you don't know, but if you listen to the full podcast, me and Connor, I think... Oh, no, we'd had that pre-show. But he was talking to me about how Kingdom Hearts 1 isn't even beloved by the fans that much.
It has its own little segment.
It's got its loyalists.
It's got its loyalists. Some people like it better overall, and they kind of like keep it separate from everything else.
Sure. Okay.
Because
now, Phil,
honestly, that game doesn't really have a story until you retcon it with everything else in the entire series. So
you're very correct about it not having a story.
Well, you haven't played the other games.
I haven't played the other games. So Phil, as a fan of Kingdom Hearts, lifelong, someone who's played it since he was a wee lad.
Yep.
What is your opinions as as a grown man of Kingdom Hearts 1?
Out of 1 out of 10.
Yeah.
I would give it a 6.
Okay.
Kingdom Hearts 2, 10.
Okay. So elaborate on your feelings of Kingdom Hearts 1. I'll probably give
Kingdom Hearts 2 a 9.
Okay. Elaborate on your feelings of Kingdom Hearts 1.
Kingdom Hearts 1?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I like the boss fights. I like the combat. I like the magic.
Okay.
I like... You're going to hate me for this, but the platforming.
You're wrong.
I'm saying I like it. I like it is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm not. I knew. I said from the get-go. I said you were going to hate it.
Okay.
But I like it.
What does like mean, Phil? Give me a little more here.
It's very satisfying in my opinion when you nail something.
Okay.
Like whenever you nail that. I'm actually surprised you beat Riku on the race the first try.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you beat him on the race
in the very beginning of the game.
Very beginning. Yep. Yeah, that's very satisfying to me.
Oh, okay.
That and other segments of platforming that you didn't even get to do because we skipped it.
Yeah, we did. I after the first day, I was hell-bent on just mainlining the rest of it. So I'm not fond of Kingdom Hearts 1. You're aware, but for people listening, I did not have a good time. Do I think it's overall terrible? No.
You had a good time.
I had moments of enjoyment is how I've been phrasing it in my head. So for those of you who don't know, maybe I should give a little more context. Kingdom Hearts is sort of a
Final Fantasy X Disney.
It is, and it's like that's what they do. They do a crossover between Final Fantasy and Disney stuff, which I'm a casual fan of both, I'll say. Very casual for Final Fantasy.
It's an action JRPG featuring Disney and Final Fantasy characters.
Yeah, it's an action. It's a character action fighting game with light JRPG mechanics.
Yeah.
And some light platforming, which is all, which the platforming in total ranges from generic and easy to terrible and frustrating.
Yep.
And
what's the jump button, Tavin?
It's fucking B.
Well, on an Xbox controller, on a PlayStation controller, it'd be circle.
Which, yeah, so the button mapping I'm not the biggest fan of, and it was an issue our entire playthrough.
Can you change it?
No, you can't change it. There's zero, if you think for a moment there's any type of quality of life decisions made in the development of this game, it's not there. There is no quality of life.
You want to know what the quality of life decisions are? Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. And that's like, it's not even in like a go fuck yourself in like a Dark Souls or Bloodborne type way where it's like, hey, this is the way our game is and you just gotta get used to it. It's just like a fucker. Like, you're actively making your game worse by choosing these choices.
In that way, it's exactly like Dark Souls. It's, hey, it's the way the game is made. Just fucking deal with it. It's exactly what it's like.
Yeah, there's a difference between yeah, but those games have better button mapping.
You're being very subjective right now.
I guess, sure, but I'm gonna continue to be that.
I'm just saying in you saying it's not like Dark Souls where it's like, oh, it's just like it's exactly like that. Whereas you just got to deal with it.
I guess, fine, whatever. I don't care.
I win
sure.
that round.
So moving on, you gave it a numerical number of 6. I think you're being generous, but I don't think
definitely am. I'm putting in nostalgia in that.
I don't think you're being ridiculous with that. I'm sitting somewhere at a 4.5.
Higher than I thought, especially with the half.
Oh, well, when you get below 5, you're just dealing with a broken game at that point, and I don't think Kingdom Hearts 1 is broken entirely. Like, it's playable. There's just so many moments in that game that are just fucking frustrating for the sake of being frustrating. Specifically, like, I'll use the Riku fight, the Dark Riku fight, as my prime example. Which if you watch the streams, you know that I struggled there pretty hard.
It took you a total, I think between both streams where you fought him, I think
we spent about 3 hours on that.
No.
Fight.
It was I want to say it was much higher than that.
I don't know, but I can't be for certain.
I think it was at least 5.
If you include the period of time where I leave to go grind and come back.
No, not including that. It felt like you were taking fucking forever.
We took a long time, but 5 is a lot. So Riku specifically to me, and
I felt like such an asshole. By the way, every time I was like, dude, I don't remember it being this hard.
Yeah, I felt like you were being a bit of an asshole
Look,
too.
I was being honest. I'm being honest. It did not ever give me that much of an issue. Like, I'm sorry.
And this is something we're gonna have to find some middle ground on as we go forward with this series. Mm-hmm. Is we're dealing with games that one of us has never touched before,
sure,
and the other one has, some to deep experience with.
Sure.
So going forward, I'm fully expecting there to be some fights because we're doing Metal Gear Solid 2 next.
Correct.
I'm fully expecting there to be some fights in Metal Gear Solid 2 that are huge roadblocks. I have an idea as to which ones it might be, but I could be wrong and it could be entirely different fights. And the frustration that builds along with just playing a game and fighting a roadblock,
yeah,
just naturally as a gamer, mixed with being on stream and wanting to move
perform,
to perform and move the show along, and having someone who thinks they're giving you all of the information you need, but isn't. And we had the same issue with the Metal Gear Rex fight.
Sure.
And maybe even the Gray Fox fight. As we've had.
I don't think I was getting nearly as upset at Gray Fox as I was Metal Gear Rex.
You were mad at Metal Gear, and I don't know if I was ever quite as mad for Riku. I was super mad with the Lionhead boss, and the last fight. I thought was
Ansem,
bullshit.
Ansem.
He sucks. But back to my point of the game being frustrating. The Riku fight specifically highlights all of my little issues with the combat system that just build and build and build to the point where I just don't like any of it anymore. And it's the fact that there are no setups to tell, there's no behavior pattern to tell you what move is coming next. There's no pre-animation that happens before the attack animation, so you can't even really react in time to some of these hits that are coming your way. And the attack animations are so quick for some of the moves that it's just like it feels goddamn nearly impossible to ever counter any of it.
I gave you the cheese
with the move. But if
strike raid.
Yeah, but if I don't have you next to me saying, "Hey, literally just keep mashing the strike raid button," I don't do that. In fact, I don't ever get the strike raid, and I just bang my head against the Riku fight, the wall that is the Riku fight, until I quit, and I rage quit, and I stop, and I say I'm done. Which there were so many points where I wanted to be done in that last day of streaming.
Yep.
Near the end of the Riku fight, before I finally put it together that you were telling me, literally just stop, just don't ever stop using it.
Yeah.
And I was so close to being done in that when Ansem turns into
a boat.
The boat, which is stupid.
Which is a trend that continues.
I'm sure it does. When he turns into that boat, that first wave, I was so close to quitting there, dude. Oh my god, I was so close. And
Daddy would have had to take the controller.
You might have, just so that we could get to the end of the fucking series, because god damn, I don't ever want to leave a series unfinished, but Jesus fucking Christ, the Kingdom Hearts 1 immediately pushed me to my limit. And I don't even think of myself as a gamer who gets angry, but Christ, dude. And it's all just stuff like that. Like all those like small inconveniences that they just add up to where when the difficulty ratchets up, it feels like you're just facing an impossible challenge. And the movement builds into that as well. You know, we just mentioned the Lionhead in Agrabah, the Aladdin world, the Lionhead boss fight.
I think let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
So like, all right.
So we can run through that fight. So we start Kingdom Hearts. Immediately I feel that the combat isn't like the most well tuned, but at first I felt okay, it's fine enough. Like it's something I can get used to. Mm-hmm. I can figure it out, and you know, I'll get to a level to where I'll appreciate it. That never came.
Really?
That never really came.
Not any of the combat? No?
Not through this first game, no.
Oh, damn.
No, not really. Because it always ranged from either...
You didn't fight any of the optional bosses. The optional bosses get like crispy with their fights. Like, there's some really good stuff.
Okay. There's some, which I do, just because I'm a fan of Final Fantasy VII, I do want to go back and do the Sephiroth fight. We're going to do that off stream.
Yeah, we'll do it off stream.
Maybe I'll record it. I don't know. Probably not.
You want to do the cheese, or you want to do regular?
We'll find out when we get there.
All right.
But so going into the beginning, there's that like pretend Riku fight that you do, and immediately I do that fight and I go, I'm missing something here, or something is missing in the mechanics here, because I feel like I should be learning his behavior and I wasn't.
Oh, you're going all the way back to
literally the whatever islands that they live on or whatever.
Pretend Riku.
It's a sparring match.
The sparring match.
It's not. He's not pretend. The fight is pretend.
I thought you were talking all the way back to Hall of Passion.
No.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about the sparring match, which is an optional.
Yeah. So
Little. I think you get like 10 XP for winning that fight.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, so he whips my ass, and I go, fine, alright, whatever, let's fight some, like little normie dudes or whatever. And
Yeah,
then,
you fight,
we're doing the...
Selfie, Titus, and Waka, which you only fought Titus, I believe.
Oh, are those his, like, little friends?
Yeah, so...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those are the three
I
little
totally
kids that are on the
didn't
island
even know that. Yeah, so I did that. I think I whipped that little kid's ass or whatever.
He has a very predictable pattern.
Yeah. And then, and then the game goes, and you're fighting little Heartless, and you fight some big weird shadow demon. I think that actually happens before
Dark
you
side.
even get to the...
It's the dark side.
Yeah.
You fight him twice.
Yeah. And then it's constantly like, something just doesn't feel right. Okay, let me just chalk it up to the game being a little old, nothing really there.
That's a lot of it.
And I try my best not to judge the old games too harshly, but there are other games I've played in this era that are way better, and have their combat way finer tuned. And this one, it just always feels like a bit of a mess. Like it never quite comes together. And a lot of it, I think, has to come up with, enemy AI behavior. Like none of the behavior of the enemy makes any sense to me. In the sense that they just kind of do whatever they want.
I will say, you say the combat's not very fine-tuned. You did nothing except mash A. You never hit guard. You never used guard ever.
I tried to use guard, and it
tried.
It became an issue where I was getting myself in more trouble than necessary.
I'm just saying.
So I would try and dodge more than guard.
There's a lot. I mean, there are also times where I would tell you to dodge, and you just wouldn't dodge. You would just try to run away.
Okay, whatever. I don't. Okay.
Just saying. Just trying to defend a little bit.
But which is fine. But I feel like if a game is fine tuned, I should be able to cue in and pick up on those things. Like how I play Devil May Cry 5 at the beginning of the game is way different how I was playing it at the end of the game because I adapted and learned. And the game was teaching me either overtly or subtly how to play. Kingdom Hearts doesn't do that. At least Kingdom Hearts 1 doesn't do that. And many enemy types just kind of like, okay, fuck you. You just gotta kind of spam a quick hit in every once in a while and then slowly kill me. Which is another critique I have where every enemy health bar is too long.
I really should have put you at beginner mode.
That almost feels insulting when you say it, but I'm sure it's whatever.
I'm just saying it would have you would have liked the game way more.
Maybe. So yeah, and as we continue, the first major world is what? Wonderland?
Well, no, the first one's Traverse Town.
Okay, Traverse Town, and there's the what is it? The Tinkerer or the toy thing, whatever it is.
It's a guard armor.
Guard armor.
Yep.
I thought that was
that's the first fight you fight, and then after that you get dodge roll and fire.
That's an okay fight. Didn't mind that one. Then we go to Wonderland.
Yep.
Which is our first major roadblock. It didn't bother me so much at the time though, because I felt like I was still learning.
It took you a little under an hour,
and I felt like
to beat the boss.
Yeah, and I felt like there was still some level of, I don't want to say fairness, but just fidelity to it, to the systems that later I just either lost complete patience for, or that fidelity the fidelity I was looking for isn't there. And to be clear, I brought up Devil May Cry 5. I'm in no way comparing Devil May Cry 5 to fucking Kingdom Hearts 1. That's an incredibly unfair comparison.
Yeah, that's a stretch, if there ever was one.
Well, it's a stretch, and also, like, DMC5 is just so stupidly fine-tuned. Like, that's the best character action game you could ever play.
Okay.
But regardless, it's two very different games from two very different times.
I was gonna say that game from like 2018, wasn't it?
Yeah, they're almost 20 years apart. They're 15, 20 years apart. So it's not fair to compare those two games. So we get through that first fight, and I was like, okay, that was challenging. I struggled, but we're through it, and maybe I'll become smarter and wiser. And it never really feels that way. So we keep going. at this point I'm gonna just start kind of like punching
Yeah,
because I don't remember how everything plays. We're going through the worlds. I like some more than others. The Tarzan one wasn't very good, but
No,
you know,
it's not.
I enjoyed the Hercules level, even though it's just a combat. It's just a combat arena. Yeah,
tournaments. Yeah.
So I enjoy that one. Is there another one in that first ring of worlds I'm missing?
First ring, no. It's just Olympus Coliseum, a Wonderland, and Deep Jungle.
Okay, so from there we move on to the
Agrabah. Yep.
We move on to Agrabah, and this is the first one where I'm like, okay, I'm hitting a wall that I do not like, and this is the point where I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna like this game. Period.
First boss in that world is Pot Centipede.
Oh, and Pot Centipede was. Ugh, it was fine. It was just kind of boring, I guess. I don't know. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It's just this centipede that is inside of a series of pots. Like each piece of the centipede is in a pot.
I think that was Baby Me's first actual roadblock was Pot Centipede.
I want to say I only died on that one once or twice.
I think once or twice.
Once or twice, yeah.
Yep.
So not a big problem. And I thought it was mostly fine. And at this point, I've kind of become accustomed to everything, which is 10 hours in, so I should be better off than
you say that. Guess who's after Pot Centipede?
It's Lionhead fucker.
It's the Cave of Wonders.
Yeah, Cave of Wonders. Go fuck this boss fight straight to the ground. This is one of my biggest issues is that positioning and movement in the world is so fucking janky, and it's so fucking frustrating to just move Sora around the world at all times. To where it's just when you create a villain in which you have to climb, but he's moving constantly, and you've got 1.5, maybe 2 ways up his face. I
was grinning so hard.
I'm sure you were. I was angry.
I know.
This was there are 2 points in my playthrough where I am angry, and it's this one, and it's fucking
the end.
Ansem, where I'm angry at this game for just existing in the state that it exists in. And that fight, the way he flips his head back and you just get flown and you don't know where you've gone.
I like whenever you were like, there's no way up his face. And then I was like, let me see. And then the first time you handed me the controller, I think in the entire playthrough, and I get him down. It's the
only time I hand you the controller. Oh, well, it's not the only time.
I get him down to
do some stuff while I go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I fight some enemies in the bathroom while you're in the bathroom. I fucking hop up his head. I get him down to one health bar. First try.
I hate that fucking fight. It's stupid. But it's just clunky. It's this clunky platforming. The game doesn't. I feel like the game is telling you the paths in which it wants you to take up on top of the head, but it doesn't quite know its own path that it wants you to take. It doesn't know the path. So, or the way its movement, it feels impossible to get up that fucker.
It's entirely possible that fight just didn't port very well. It's entirely possible. I'm not sure.
Maybe, but I don't know. But it totally doesn't feel like it. And yeah, I was so mad in this fucking boss fight, and he's spawning all these enemies at you that
he vomits them up.
They just jump and swing, and they land wherever they want to land, and their hits fucking do all this fucking damage. And it's just fuck, man. I can't catch a fucking break. And that's gonna be a common theme in this fucking review. Anyway, so at some point, it's fucking 10 o'clock at night, and I finally get past that, and I'm like, alright, let's finish it, or it's 9 o'clock, and we spend the next hour finishing Agrabah, killing, beating Jafar. Jafar was a annoying boss fight just because of how long it takes.
Pushovers.
Yeah, but Jafar,
you actually died.
Both phases of Jafar are pushovers. Yeah, I died because I was learning. Both phases of Jafar are fucking pushovers, and I just don't. That fight is such a whatever fight that the entire world of Agrabah, just throw that world in the fucking trash. I was so done. And then moving on from there, for the most part, I enjoy.
I think after that's Atlantica. That's where we went to Monstro after that. Monstro.
Oh, Monstro the whale. Okay,
yep.
The whale's okay. Kind of just
first interaction with poison.
Oh, that's right. That does happen. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then there's those weird wiggly whatever inflatable tube arm men in that world.
Wiggly wave.
I don't know. Whatever the fucking thing that is that holds Pinocchio in a cage, and then they repeat the same line.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what poisoned you.
Yeah. It's a fine fight, I guess. It's fine.
What is that called? It's something cage.
Couldn't tell you.
Really get.
And then this is where, like, and as I'm playing, I'm constantly commenting on the jank of the game. Like, and I have no reason to back this theory up, but I feel like this game was made and they pushed their budget to the limit and they had to rush this game out the door. So it was just like,
I don't think that's true.
It was just a matter of like, it kind of works. Okay, release it. This is just from what I've inferred from how difficult game development is and how difficult it must have been to work with Disney, especially in the early 2000s.
I played Game Dev Simulator. I know how easy it is to develop a game.
Anyways, and it's just the fact that it's like the cutscenes don't have any connection with the last bit of gameplay you had, which wasn't uncommon back in those days, but it was better than what is presented in Kingdom Hearts 1. When you go to Deep Jungle is the best example of that. They have like the most quickly animated, and then it's done over text box of Donald and Sora fighting over the controls of the ship on whether or not they're going to visit Deep Jungle, which I guess causes them to crash.
No. So it's not that they're going to visit Deep Jungle. Is that what direction they want to go? It's either they want to try.
Donald wants to skip Deep Jungle entirely.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and Sora wants to stop to find his friends. So they're fighting over over whether they're gonna go to Deep Jungle at all or keep going.
I remember
on.
that differently. I don't know.
And then I guess them fighting over the controls causes the ship to crash. And then the next cutscene, it's just Sora flying through the air.
Yeah, he's falling.
No connection with where the ship went. No connection of him falling out of the ship. Nothing. He's just falling through the air and lands next to Tarzan.
Yeah. Sabor.
And it's just like little things like that where it's just like, oh, you're like kind of sort of tangentially connecting from scenes to gameplay to in-engine footage and oh my god, I haven't even talked about the fucking gummy ship yet. Holy shit, what a piece of garbage minigame that is.
The gummy ship was added last.
It feels like
I'm fairly certain that
or it was like they had like the first initial demo and then just never iterated on it because they were trying to get the main combat to work.
Thing that's why that's so jarring is because they added all the gummy ship shit like after.
Maybe, but that's not the only time. Anytime it goes to text box chat and not voiced dialogue, it feels awkward.
Most of that is gummy ship stuff. There is some stuff in actual worlds, but most of that is gummy ship stuff.
Anyways, and then the yeah, so when we get to the second Ring of Planets, except for Agrabah, I like all of those more than the first ring, I'll say. The first ring's
Atlantica,
fine.
You got Halloween Town.
I didn't care for Atlantica, but it didn't offend me. Halloween Town I liked, but that might just because of my fandom for Nightmare Before Christmas.
Then you got Neverland.
Neverland was okay. I didn't like the Captain Hook fight.
They say Neverland. It's literally just Captain Hook's ship.
Yeah,
it's just the Jolly Roger.
Yeah, I didn't hate it, but I didn't like. Oh god, you fight a dark version of Sora on that level. I totally forgot about that.
Yep.
Yeah, that fight sucks.
Shadow Sora or Anti Sora, I should say.
Yeah, that fight sucks. It's not like hard, but it's annoying. The Ursula fight was annoying until you figure out you can just hide behind her head and punch the back of her head. Yeah. And just be swiping your thing at her fucking neck fat. Yeah, I don't know if there's a single boss fight in this game that I was like, oh man, that's a great fucking fight. Like, I had a lot of fun in that fight. All of them are like, like the best ones, I'm like, that was fine. It was fine. It was inoffensive, and it didn't go on.
I thought you liked Trickmaster.
Which one was that?
Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, that's the springy dude?
The juggler guy. That's Trickmaster.
I thought I did because I didn't know any better. Yeah, that fight it's fine.
You didn't
it's
like
a fine
Clayton
fight.
Riding the invisible chameleon?
Didn't hate that one, honestly. Didn't hate that one. That one, that one's honestly probably one of my favorite
Oh, really?
ones of the entire game. It's like, it ranks.
I actually don't like that one.
That one ranks probably pretty high for me.
I don't like Stealth Sneak. You didn't even go to the Hades Cup where you fight like 3 Stealth Sneaks at the same time.
Oh, I don't want to do that. That doesn't sound fun.
They're like pushovers.
Yeah, and it's just the more we go through this game, the more and more I dislike it, and the more and more I become frustrated with it. And it's nothing that there's overtly terrible about the game except for the gummy ship. But mechanically, there's nothing mechanically terrible about the game except for the gummy ship.
You go back to Traverse Town, you fight Guard Omer again,
and
his hands and feet switch.
Didn't hate that fight either.
Reverse armor.
That fight was fine. I liked that fight fine. It was fine. I was like, all right, cool. It felt how I felt about the first guard armor. Cool. All right. Neat.
And then
Moving on to the next whatever fight.
You fought Oogie Boogie in Halloween Town.
Gimmick fight. Didn't love it, but didn't hate it.
You didn't deflect any of his dice.
I did a few times.
Like once.
Like
it was like
4
once.
times.
You know. I don't even think it was on purpose.
No, surely at some point. There was definitely one where it would it hit the ground, but it hadn't exploded yet, and I hit it and sent it back out.
Okay.
I remember that very distinctly. Oh God, what can I even say? God, moving
After
through.
Neverland,
Yeah, once we get to
Neverland, you fight Captain Hook. You didn't like that fight.
Don't like that fight. Don't like that fight at all. The whole flying mechanic is terrible. I hate the flying. Didn't hate the swimming. Hated the flying, which is interesting, especially for that era of games where swimming is usually always terrible.
Yep.
Which those two mechanics are pretty close together. They're
all those water levels.
They're mostly the same, the flying and the swimming, but the floatiness that comes with the flying, I hated. And it led into my bigger issue of just control over Sora and movement, especially in the Ansem fight, where I felt like I was never where I wanted to put myself, and I couldn't, for the life of me, get control of where I was and where I wanted to be.
Yeah, the game that part would be easier if you were on a platform.
Very much so.
There's never, to my knowledge, there's never any big boss that you just have to fly around and do that. Not for the actual final boss. There's segments of bosses that have flying segments, but they're better.
Yeah,
and they're
you're saying going forward?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so mechanically overall, this game frustrates me to hell. And it just with momentary in the moment to moment fighting the little mobs or whatever, I would have fun here and there. But overall, it was just fucking Christ, can this fight be over? The fights always lasted way longer than they need to. There was always not one too many waves. There's 5 too many waves. And it's not 1 too many health bars. It's 3 too many health bars for boss fights. And it's Jesus Christ,
yeah.
At some point, you're just batting me over the head for no reason. Other than artificially extending your playtime. So yeah, the mechanics frustrated me to hell. I don't think they're terrible by any stretch of the imagination, and I think if you're a fan of the franchise as a whole, you can still go back and enjoy the first game, which is why I do. I don't think you're being outrageous with your feelings of the first game. I do think you're being generous. But other than that, I mean, we can talk about presentation, but it's hard because it's such an old game. So presentation in video games
looks great.
Moment to moment, I don't think. I think it looks okay. It's going for that Pixar look, that Disney look, and I think for the most part, it looks fine to even.
I like the way that
good.
a lot of the 2D animated characters kind of translated to 3D. A lot of them still look pretty good.
Yeah, because we're still looking. It was Donald, Goofy, and Mickey. This is before your 3D versions of them. They're still have only ever been seen in
Mickey.
2D.
Mickey's barely in the first game.
He's still there. He's still there
for less than
shirtless in all his glory.
Less than a minute of screen time.
Yeah, that was terrible. Why was he even there?
Well,
just to say
you were
had him
originally supposed to play as Mickey in the original take of Kingdom Hearts.
Honestly, would have been a better game.
I disagree.
Would have been a better game.
I disagree entirely.
Because there would have been
Holy shit.
There would have been some because how I like the Nightmare Before Christmas level. There's automatic buy-in, so everybody loves Mickey Mouse. But this little fucking piece of shit Sora character that they present to me in the first game, I don't care if he gets better later on. He's a piece of shit in this game.
I don't love Mickey Mouse.
How do you not love Mickey Mouse?
I don't love Mickey Mouse.
Mickey
Mouse is okay.
The fuck is wrong with you? How do you not love Mickey Mouse?
Oh boy.
Yeah. He's great.
No, I think he's kind of overrated.
All right, whatever. It's just the ultimate charm character. Anyways, oh Jesus Christ! Hearing Goofy and Donald spit the same fucking voice lines again and again and again and again, and that's another thing that using. They only recorded 6 combat lines per character. there's only so many times I can hear Ansem say darkness or whatever the fuck he says before I want to blow my brains out.
Yeah. Return to darkness.
Ridiculous. To record more. Like,
not every game can be Hades, Tavin.
Like, record like 40 more.
Not every game can be Hades.
When you're in actual combat, Hades doesn't have that many voice lines.
I'm just saying, Hades has like, it feels like,
that's what's impressive about Hades.
I've never ever encountered a repeat.
I'm not comparing it to Hades when the dialogue, like when the script comes up and the like character portrait comes up.
Yeah, that's what I'm
talking. I'm talking about in battle, like.
I mean, even like before battle, like when you're about to fight like the Hydra or whatever.
No, I understand, but I'm saying those are two different things.
Okay.
An equivalent would be like, because Hades, the fight in Hades, he says darkness before he turns invisible. That's what I'm comparing that to. But he doesn't say darkness every 5 seconds.
Well, he doesn't do the same move every 5 seconds.
Exactly. But guess who does, Phil? Ansem does!
You'd think a character that only has like 3 attacks wouldn't be that hard.
Yeah, but when he spams the same 3 attacks again and again and again, and it feels almost impossible to hit him. Oh my god, it's so fucking frustrating. And you can only hit him like once or twice. You can't even get your fucking strong attack off before he's fucking dipped off somewhere else on his next attack.
He doesn't move.
He does when he swings his little spear.
Well, I mean, he has like a little motion, but he doesn't like move like entirely.
It's enough to where you miss a hit. I missed many hits, Phil, and it wasn't because I moved Sora.
Mad 'cause bad.
Sure, I could be. I could be that guy. Fine, I'll take that. This game sucks. But moving on, yeah, I think presentation. I think presentation is all overall fine. I think if I put myself back in when did this game come out? 2002, 2000,
2003-ish.
Yeah. Okay. So if I put myself back in this time, it's pretty good. It's fine. You know, it works pretty damn well. You know, especially when you compare it to things like the first Ratchet and Clank. When you compare it to the first Sly Cooper, definitely. When you compare it to a lot of those early action games where we're still early in 3D space in video games in general. Like, we're obviously more advanced than Super Mario 64, but we're still behind you know, Call of Duty 4 or Uncharted or even like what we get in the next in the 360 generation and PS3 generation, mid to late that. So obviously, like,
it's also like a whole console generation up.
Yeah. That's my point. So I don't think presentation was overly terrible. It feels rushed in points, like how I mentioned with you know, cutscenes not connecting to gameplay at all. Like, they're not even making attempts to the point to where, like, narratively there are moments like the Deep Jungle one where I go, how does Sora get there? Like, how is he in that predicament? I don't understand.
I'm going to prove you wrong, Tavin, because some cutscenes, whatever Keyblade you have equipped, he uses that Keyblade. So, gotcha.
Cool. Cool.
That's your connection right there.
Sure. All right. Cool.
And then there's that one cutscene where you go back to Traverse Town where no matter what Keyblade you use, he just uses Kingdom Key.
Default.
He has the default one.
Yeah, so I don't think presentation is overly terrible, but what I do think is not terrible, but just non-existent is story. There is no story in this first game.
I actually think that's the only cutscene where you don't like have whatever Keyblade you have equipped.
Is the one in Traverse Town?
Yeah, it's that one.
But
silly.
This game is literally, it's like, oh, we're gonna have some mystery, you don't quite know what's going on, we're gonna introduce you to this world, and then they just drop it all completely, and it all goes out the window just so that we can hit like Disney's greatest hits and just say hi to every cool Disney character.
The Disney Worlds and Kingdom Hearts games mean nothing to the Kingdom Hearts story.
Okay, but you understand that's not good, right?
I mean,
you understand that's bad, right? It doesn't matter.
I'm not saying it's good or bad.
It
is.
I am agreeing that is what it is. But I'm saying that's not good. Don't do that. If you this is storytelling in any medium, books, comics, TV, movies, music.
It's all
if you are portraying a narrative, if there is something in there that distracts or has nothing to do with it, get it the fuck out of your narrative. Like, just cut it. Or figure out a way to put it into the narrative and have it make sense. Because otherwise, I'm walking around fucking Wonderland for 40 fucking minutes going, alright, but what does this have to do with anything happening?
Tavin, I'm gonna stop you right there.
You're gonna bring up Alice disappearing
Kingdom
and
Hearts.
getting kidnapped. Kingdom Hearts, great. Yeah, fucking Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts.
And then we get to fucking, what is it called? Bastion Hall?
Hollow Bastion.
Hollow Bastion. And we turn into a fucking Heartless for no reason. And then for
It's not for no reason.
All right,
it's not for no reason. It's not for no reason. You
Okay.
turn into a Heartless because
Sora frees his fucking heart and does whatever
yeah.
the fucking bullshit he does.
Sora frees his heart
to
and
save
because
Kyrie
he
or
was,
some shit.
Because he freed his heart left his body. He was a Heartless. But the only part that doesn't make sense, and it's even in the wiki where it says somehow, is where Kyrie hugs him as a Heartless and he becomes the regular again. Which I'll tell you right now, Tavin, contradicts everything we know about Kingdom Hearts lore. literally, the wiki says somehow. Because let me tell you something, Tavin. Whenever a person with a strong heart has their heart taken away, their body is supposed to turn into what's known as a nobody. And then the nobody and the heartless.
None of this is in the first game.
It's not. Nobodies don't exist until the second game.
Great.
Well, technically they exist in Chain of Memories, but still.
Listen, I'm only working with what I've been given.
I'm just saying. I'm agreeing
Yeah.
in that the bit where Kyrie turns Sora back into Sora makes no sense.
Okay.
Because what we know about Kingdom Hearts.
But Phil, that is the level of storytelling that I experienced the full 30 hours I was playing the fucking game. Like, it was 30 hours of just, this happens next. And then you go, why? And they go, okay, but then this happened.
Because
And you go,
Kingdom
wait,
Hearts.
but what about, why did Donald and Goofy switch sides and go to the bad guy?
No. That they were tasked with following the key, not the person that they were with.
But why does the key leave Sora?
Because Riku is the real chosen one for the Keyblade. Sora was just there because he didn't submit to the darkness. Remember in the beginning when Riku was like, "I'm not afraid of the darkness," and he went in the dark portal, and Sora didn't because he was like, "I don't know, that's not a very good idea."
Phil, this is reaching. Is what
exactly what happens.
Is what you're doing and what the writers of this game are doing. They are reaching. And they are going, because this. That's why. That's why this happens. And to which you go, I don't believe you.
But here's the thing. That's where I go, okay. But no, so you get Heartless and a nobody, kill the Heartless and nobody, and then the two Barts come back together, it becomes a somebody.
This sucks. This is bad. That's a solid square I just made on that little audio
You
file.
really did.
Right there.
You're peaking the audio heavily.
Yeah, it's because we have the mics turned up all the way. It's fine. Whatever.
Just saying. It's not going to sound very pleasant.
Whatever. What else do we have to say about this fucking game, Phil?
I love it.
I hate it.
And that's our dynamic. I love it. I hate it.
You didn't hate Metal Gear Solid.
No, I didn't. I know. I'm saying I loved it. Well, I didn't love it. I liked it.
Jesus fucking Christ. We need some I'm so...
When you walk away, you don't hear me say...
Phil, we're still going to YouTube, Phil.
That's less than 5 seconds.
You're right, yeah. And there's no way the copyright's gonna pick up whatever that was.
Yeah, that wasn't on key, so that's fine.
Oh my Jesus Christ. And then it was just... Oh god, that post-credit scene is so bad. I just remember that post-credit scene.
We gotta search for Riku and Mickey.
We gotta find Riku and Mickey. And then Pluto shows up and says, "Here, go here." And they go...
Pluto is an enigma in the entire Kingdom Hearts series.
Wow.
He shows up.
That's crazy, Phil. That's so crazy. An enigma. Wow.
Yep. The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma.
Okay. So, You've said it many times during our playthrough.
Yep.
You said it before, and you've said it a little bit here, and you've said it after in private many times. Is that you don't all the way stand behind the first game, but you stand behind 2. Is 2 is your favorite video game of all time.
Yep.
You fucking adore it. It's
True.
like your favorite thing ever. Kingdom Hearts as a series, not your favorite thing.
No.
But that game just fucking
Kingdom Hearts 2
checks all the boxes
Oh my
for
god.
Philip.
It's no.
Checks all the necessary boxes for Philip.
Yeah. I love the only thing that the story still not very good.
Oh, I went in expecting bad. I did not go in expecting non-existent. There is no plot to that game. You can say all you want about how retconning this, that, and the third gives it a plot. There's no plot. It's not a plot. You can't recount from step to step why Sora gets from one place to another. He just gets there. He's just there.
What do you mean? They fly in the gummy ship.
Sure, he just flies there.
He doesn't. He flies in the spaceship.
Space magic.
It's not magic.
It's magic.
What?
They go
It's a
through
spaceship. Are NASA astronauts? Are they wizards, Tavin? Do they perform magic? Is that what they do?
It's magic to me, Phil.
Oh.
And God bless
And
them.
I'm proud to be an American. I'm proud to be an American.
But
Space travel.
Jesus Christ, the Chipmunks built the ship.
Chip and Dale.
Chip and Dale built the fucking ship.
They're engineers. They
Are
have
they
degrees.
Chipmunks?
Yeah, the Chipmunks.
Okay.
Chip and Dale.
I forgot about that
Yeah.
until I just thought about it. And then they pop up and there's little text boxes saying, "Hey, go back to the Coliseum" every once in a while. And you go,
Yep.
okay,
They
I
don't.
guess
They
I'll
don't
go back to
speak.
the
They don't
Coliseum.
speak in the first game. They speak in the second game.
Oh, I can't wait! I'm so glad. Can I skip cutscenes in the second game, Phil? You didn't let me skip in the first game,
No siree.
and definitely in that last third. Oh God, I just
no
fucking
siree.
Christ.
No siree.
Oh God, Jesus.
We gotta
fucking
play
Christ.
it in its entirety.
But we're taking a break though.
Oh yeah,
I need a
We're
moment.
Not, we're not
I need
jumping
a-
right into Kingdom Hearts 2.
MGS
We're not jumping right into Kingdom Hearts 2.
MGS2 is going to be too quick. I need more time. Oh God, I need more time before I touch another Kingdom Hearts.
You get 3 games. I play
I do.
one, then we play one together, and then I play another one.
Yeah.
And then we go back.
Yeah. So, looking forward, Phil.
Yep.
What do I have to look forward to with Kingdom Hearts 2?
Kingdom Hearts 2?
Oh,
Way fucking better game.
yeah?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Way fucking better.
Everything's tighter? Fucking
Oh, dude. There's gonna be you're gonna be like, it's satisfying. It's fucking satisfying as fuck. There's some great fucking combat. Spells are better. But yeah, magic overall is better. It's also
menus all the way the same? Pretty much the same?
yeah, menu's pretty
Okay.
much the same.
Is it like the behavior thing where like if I scroll down to magic and then scroll down 3, when I
Well,
go back to magic, I'm
Here's
back
the
at
thing.
3,
Here's the thing, Tavin.
which I hated.
With the magic in Kingdom Hearts 2,
Yeah.
there's no like, oh, you need to use this.
Oh.
There's none of that.
Oh, okay. So I can kind of just pick and choose my favorites?
Yeah.
Oh,
And-
okay.
And guess what? In that first game, you got 3 quick play spots.
I got 4 in the next
you
one?
You got 4 in this one.
They let me use A?
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
could use A already. They let me use
They let you use
B.
B. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alright, that's neat, I guess.
Yeah.
Alright. Can I tell when a hit is coming? Is it possible to tell when a hit is coming? Does enemy AI behavior work better?
I mean, you know when it's coming when you see him go for the attack, Tavin.
But sometimes there's like 4 frames of animation that you need to
Anytime you
use to
fight a
recognize.
boss, there's no fucking way you ever go without getting hit once.
No, I agree, and that's how most boss fights in most video games work. But like, I should be able to register that attack is coming and just be like, oh fuck, I'm getting hit. Like, but like with several fights in this first game, it was just like, all right, I guess he sent that attack out. I guess I got hit. Okay, cool.
Game's way better in the second game. Oh my
God,
god,
I hope so.
So much fucking better.
God, I hope so
fucking
because
good.
it's longer, isn't it?
Yep.
Jesus Christ, we're gonna have to do 2 months of Kingdom Hearts 2.
No.
Die.
There's no way. There's no way it's going to take us 2 months.
You say that.
Fucking storm.
You say that. We started week 3, expecting 3 hours, and it took us 8.
Because you were supposed to be better than you were, Tavin. Oh my god, you did so shitty.
God, the game was supposed to be good too, Phil. I grew up hearing that Kingdom Hearts were fun games all the way through.
Guess
This
what,
first
Tavin?
game sucks.
Guess what, Tavin?
Yeah.
If I played Kingdom Hearts now, for the first time, I wouldn't like it.
You wouldn't like it.
No. But guess what?
There's no way in hell adult Phil blind playing Kingdom Hearts 1 makes it through Wonderland.
That's a lie.
No way in
That's a
hell
lie.
do you make it through Wonderland.
That's a lie. I make it at least
Phil-
to Agrabah.
Phil, you couldn't even make it to the first dungeon in Persona 4 before you're like, I don't want to play this anymore.
What do you... Well, nothing is happening in that fucking game, Tavin.
A lot is happening. That's a story for another time. Anyways. Alright, I think we've said about all we need to say about Kingdom Hearts 1. You're looking forward to me playing Kingdom Hearts 2.
You should look forward to it. There's so much better stuff.
I'm gonna do my best to be open-minded again and not let any biases from this first game carry over.
There's a certain character in Kingdom Hearts 2, a Disney character that is he's bad, and he's gonna be there, and he's bad, and he's not in the first game, and he talks about people from the first game, and he's like, oh, I'm part of. I know that person. I've served that person. Oh, that person. Oh, they're gone. Oh, yeah. I'm not going to tell you who it is.
Okay.
But know him. You'll know him when you see him.
So that was our review of Kingdom Hearts 1.5 Final Mix. After the hype,
great game.
It's not worth it.
Great game.
You can catch us. You can catch Hype at twitch.tv/2pennygames every Tuesday, 1 p.m. live for probably about 8 hours, somewhere around there.
Something like that.
You know, whenever we find a good stopping point. Follow, subscribe. We've got the recordings of all the other streams. Eventually, I'm going to learn how to edit and fucking put it up. I've been saying that for weeks. And it still hasn't happened.
I'd do it. I work over 40 hours a week.
Yeah, but
I also don't pay for editing software.
Yeah, exactly. I work 40 hours and fucking do the podcast and this show with you, Philip. Anyways, other than that, Phil, you have anything else to add on to this? I'm so exhausted even after talking about this fucking piece of shit. It's not a piece of shit, but I just really don't like it. Means heart.
Means heart.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so, and then as a sign off, to the Two Penny Games cast, thank you so much for listening. We are well over 2 hours, so this is a long ass thing. So, until next week, Phil, say goodbye to the people.